Can't really just tough. You see that movie right there? This is Spinal Tap.
Goes to it.
Could be one of the best movies of all time.
Alright guys, let's get started.
I couldn't hear you over the fan.
Yeah. Are you ready?
So you're shopping for Tom?
Huh?
You shopping for Tom?
Yeah. So it doesn't look like we have any new referees here.
What are we gonna meet for? I get him in the class, man. I'm not retention.
Yeah, you're gonna have retention. So we'll just kind of go over. So USA Rugby came out with a ruling on the scrum half to put the ball in.
Just chuck it into the wall.
So for U19 and below, we'll say yes 9, and then they have a moment or two to put the ball in, just like how we were doing it before. And then for anything above and beyond that, it's a non-verbal indication. So what does that mean, Dave Fellows?
Means if you're on foot inside, you can touch the time. If you're on the non-foot inside, you can give them a point finger or something.
Yeah, just some way for you to communicate to him that you can put the ball in. So, yeah, just a touch on the shoulder is fine, or whatever you want to do. I just go like put my hand up and then point to him like that. So when I'm across it. So, everyone clear on that? Yeah. Please don't do anything inappropriate ever. You don't want to be that referee who does that. Huh?
Did you go over those things?
Just, all you need is just a touch on the shoulder. That's it. Just a touch on the shoulder. That's it.
Slap on the back.
Nothing else, please.
Has anyone else tried anything that's worked successfully? In the sense of signals?
I've done it. I did it last weekend. It's easy. One time I screwed up and said yes 9. And then one time the backup scrum half put the ball in. So just manage it. Don't be that guy that free kicks him right off. Just remember, you gotta wait for me. You can just start, blow it up, or reset it. You don't have to free kick him. I mean, if he consistently does it, well then, I guess, but just try to manage him. And then if you do get a switch at the reserve scrum half comes in, it's just a good reminder to go, hey guys, remember you're waiting for me to point or tap you on the shoulder. Put it in. Yeah. Good job for everyone who showed up on the fitness test, by the way.
Even if we did the worst, we'd still get points, right?
You didn't do the worst.
You were there.
You were there. Showed up. Apparently my computer's not going to work at all. So I was going to go on my phone. The treasurer's report, Ryan wanted to if you have any questions regarding the reconciliation, go ahead and email him. There's some missing match reports. Craig Wolf, Craig Tarr, Brian Zapp, Craig Tarr, early twice.
Tar's game was canceled?
I still was canceled.
You gotta let him know though. You still gotta let Ryan know. Bill or not.
I already let him know.
Yeah, if game gets canceled, obviously you let on the day let Gilligan and Gary know. But you also gotta let Ryan know so you know not to bill him or pay you. And there's no public shaming.
Great.
I thought if you didn't follow the report, you would get paid.
Got the answer from Gilligan.
Yeah. I'm lucky when I was a
High school.
I'm going to high school.
Really, computer?
You too. You got nice.
I'm the fault.
Mark, you make
That feels better because of the natural chair process.
You have the doggo?
Yeah.
You go to USA Rugby and pull up one of those videos?
What video do you want?
It's one of my Cobb's tackle.
Oh, yeah.
Can you wrap it with that?
Never leave going up and out.
Yes.
So you said, Where's Green at? Oh, Green is gone. Oh, he's gone.
Okay, so, Craig, one sec. So kit reimbursement, who doesn't have kit? Who doesn't have a proper jersey? Remember, Tim, you get $50 from last fall, so why don't you go online and get a new yellow jersey? Gary, I don't know why you haven't spent the money that you were planning to.
You said wait because we were seeing what the
Go
yellows
ahead
are.
now.
Okay. New tracksuit.
Do we have pens for the pockets in? Which ones, sorry?
We have what Stu is wearing.
Yeah, but I can get my fingers up to the.
Love Stuart Geiger modeling our shorts.
I say, Craig, you're in the end of
Come on, the new one.
Everyone clear on the process of ordering kit and getting reimbursed for it? You get $50 a season? Is everyone clear on explaining?
No, it's not combined. But you get to do the work.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, none of our items cost over $50, do they?
One's like, back to $80.
$80.
Yeah, it's there to supplement your kit, it's not there to completely solve. I mean, it's a passion for you to do.
This computer's a lot.
This
is a lot quieter.
Alright. Come on, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything done. So, dues are due, we're taking them out of your assignments unless you want to pay. And you can get your stipends, but they're $75. Some people have paid, others have not. Match cancellations. Please make sure and email and text Ryan and Gilligan and Gary all your match cancellations in the spring. There should be a snowy March, so there'll probably be a lot of cancellations to make sure we get that reported to the right people. I mean, we need to know, Gary and Dan need to know because they can assign you somewhere else, and Ryan needs to know so we know not to build the clubs and or pay you extra.
Mark.
Greg?
Plus, we need to know who
Greg, you
the,
had a question?
Dues were 75?
Dues are 75. Gary?
we're kind of semi-tracking who the habitual cancelers are too,
Of the teams?
of the teams.
Okay, that's great.
Sometimes it's not always their fault.
Yeah.
Can I just point out, if you are assigned a, and because there's a couple of Eastern Rocky assigned Division 1A games coming up, they're not Eastern Rockies games, the nationally assigned games, so you get no stipend, you get $25 per day for food.
What's
That
that?
is a national reimbursement
For Division 1A?
for Division 1A.
ARs?
ARs, we have to bill locally, and you can pay it, because we're billing. But referees don't get paid anything.
For Division 1A, we get $100.
Nope, not this year.
Really?
Really. Keep your receipts, turn them in, $25 per day for food. Lots of love, Ed told this week.
Taco Bell.
You got it.
Is it the responsibility of the clubs, the home team to let you know if the game's canceled or something?
Yes, they should know, let the referee know. And if they don't let you know and you, so say you're driving to Wyoming and you're up to Fort Collins and you live in Denver and they call you and cancel, still fill out a match report and we'll still bill for that. They have to give you a reasonable amount of time. I think we have a.
It's supposed to be 4 hours.
4 hours before kickoff? Yeah, so there you go.
Which means you've already, for Cheyenne or Laramie, you've already left town.
No, Wyoming
Yeah.
called, started on this week at about 8:45. They canceled. So,
I mean,
good for them, they'll do that.
there are still a lot of outstanding invoices. Adams State Air Force men, they're trying to work on it. CSU men, checks in the mail rights. Colorado Springs University, or CU.
UCCS.
Whatever it is. Yeah. So I don't know what we're doing. I would imagine we're not assigning refs to these games, Gary.
So again,
Are you working with Ryan on assigning refs till we get paid?
Gil and I are going to discuss it after the weekend. He's dealing with his PhD.
Quite a lot of money. Denver Queens, $13.50. Colorado Springs, $600. Breck, $200. Boulder, $700. Glenwood Springs, $750. We never get paid. So that's the treasurer's report.
CU and CSU, both of them.
No, it's CU, Colorado Springs, and CSU.
And CSU's check has been in the mail for a month.
It's the mule,
Mark, my guess is, after talking to Dan, once he gets his dissertation dealt with tomorrow, I guess everything's due. He and I are gonna discuss, and we're probably just gonna cut everybody off except those colleges, because we have to work with them a little bit.
colleges are slow.
So Ryan sent out 3 spreadsheets, the ERRFU pit reimbursement plan, the membership fees, and then the February reconciliation. Maybe a very short meeting.
Mark, as far as station, $75 dues will cover registration from August.
SIP, yeah.
Yeah.
Cautious SIP everyone last year, so probably have to do it again.
Are you getting all this?
Sorry, Alex.
I'm live.
All your dues will go to be buying a new computer next meeting.
Amen. We pay now, we shut it
Man, I don't have that.
It's not what design.
It's out the window. Yeah, no, these don't open either. So.
Stand by. I just hit the wrong button.
Well, I need to get the video up eventually.
Gil wanted us to reiterate, if the teams are contacting you directly, refer them to him and myself, refer them to the league rep, or refer them to the union. You are not to take an assignment from a team directly ever.
It's a leak,
It's on the website.
What is the reason for that?
Because there are teams who will go around the established system, and it's happened for decades. They want a referee and it's Thursday night, and, oh, well, I know, we don't seem to have a game, we'll just call Kurt directly. We want everything to go through the system, because a lot of times, they won't have their game, they won't have jumped through the proper hoops and got their game on the schedule, which they need to do. So again?
It's usually in cases.
They may or may not be paid up on everything they need to be paid up on, so guys, if you get a request from a team, just refer them to Dan or I, or their league rep. It's easy, just say no. If teams aren't contacting you for the game, email Gilligan and copy me, and we'll start kind of beating up their league reps a little bit to get their attention. We have really good coverage right now. Looks like April is going to get, this is just Dan's notes, he's off doing something. Looks like April is going to get really, really busy because of the high school, so if you guys can kind of clear your schedules as much as possible, we're going to be really busy. There may be some instances of guys doing an early game and a late game. There may be some retired guys doing games.
God, I hope so.
Guess we can skip number 4 because none of the brand new referees made it.
Yeah.
We
Just
have,
fill out a match report and where to go.
what was the question now? I was reading his last.
Match report?
Match reports are on the website in the referee section.
Including the CYO? No, that's.
No, you got it.
Rugby in Colorado?
Rugby Colorado match report has to be done off the Rugby Colorado site.
You have to register, you have to go in there and create an account and register. It's really easy, it takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Even I did it.
if you have a Rugby Colorado game, do one there and under.
So you're gonna do duplicate.
You have to do 2 reports.
Yeah.
Without even
Correct.
just so you get.
Control C, Control V. Just copy and paste.
I didn't know that, I didn't know.
It's different, you have to actually log into
Yeah, they're different
Colorado for a
formats.
different name.
Yeah, you can copy you can copy most of the information over. Guys, it's a computer, it's not that hard.
It takes.
Guys, I can do it.
I just didn't know you had to do both.
I didn't
Part
know.
of your
But it's part,
professionalism being
and
represented.
guys, we need, because we build the clubs Monday night, so, dude, you gotta fix that.
I got a dog in the ocean, just turn it off.
We do our billing to the clubs every week on Monday night, so we need your reports in pretty much by midday Monday. You know, if you did a game on Saturday, you have got 48 hours to get that in and still be ahead of us. It takes about 5 minutes. Last game I did it on my iPad on the side of the field. Done before I went to the car, take 5 minutes. Any other, Mark, anything else we need to cover on that?
Everyone know where to go and look for the schedule on Rugby Colorado? It's got high school boys and then,
Scheduling.
season and then it's.
Have they updated it? No, when I've gone in, it seems like last year's stuff or something.
No, it's,
You're in the wrong schedule, Jim.
yeah, 2014.
2015, 14.
Well,
We've got some bugs, so it's not.
And currently, the last 2 weeks of March with the development committee being reviewed schedule, hopefully we'll be out by the end of the week.
Ryan says, please get your match reports in. You have 48 hours from full-time to get your match reports in technically. He asked that you get it in by Monday afternoon.
On the next email, can you put in to do both for high school? Because I didn't know about it. I don't think that most people did.
Yeah. It used to go, so it used to, like Charlie used to get a report and then he could send that to yeah, something like that. Like he would take our ERRFU ones and send them to JR. But now, if you just go do an ERRFU one, JR won't know. Because Charlie doesn't do that anymore, and it's not going to Tom. So, or Tom doesn't have time. And nor do I, it's scary.
Please fill out your disciplinary reports, even if it's just yellow card, because if we get too many, the union tracks that, so, you know, I know Joe's a nice guy, he didn't really mean to do it, but if you had a yellow card, you're obligated to fill out that report. Don't say, oh, well, it wasn't really bad. Fill it out, please.
You pull a card, you do a report, no matter what. If an AR flags it, if AR flags it, you have the AR submit it, or you can submit it on behalf of the AR.
The referee, since he carded it, should probably submit it in a supplementary report from the
Yeah.
AR.
Yeah, basically.
Don't just say, well, the AR called it, and you pulled the card,
Yes.
you send the report.
That's typical.
If Stewart, if it was on the advice of Stewart, Greg, you still fill the report out, but Stu, you need to file a supplementary report with it. Fair enough?
What happens if it was a bad call on the
It won't matter. If you pull a card,
If you pull the card, you pull the card.
Did you card it?
report, that's for the disciplinary committee to
Because I
decide.
had to, because of the.
Correct. Even if it was bad information, the disciplinary committee will sort that out. Your job is to get the
You can
report in.
ask us for it in there.
No. That stuff can be subpoenaed, guys, so don't, just give them the who, what, when, where, how, well, you know.
It's important for you guys to turn that stuff in, because there's certain players that are just bad characters, we won't mention Josh later. And if they get a certain amount of yellow cards in a season, they are now suspended for a period. And it's important that you
Just
turn
saying, I
it.
got a red card this week, and the referee wrote in and said that, you know, he wasn't recommending any further sanction on the player. And I prefer not to have that.
Referee has no,
Guys,
That's not up to you guys.
do not recommend
Just-
additional sanction or less. Give enough information. I mean, if you had to red card Mark Nelson, and Mark did something really heinous, write a report that reflects what Mark did without going overboard. I mean, if Mark sucker punched a guy, say, Mark sucker punched a defenseless victim, you know, who couldn't, because Mark, here's the thing, I sit on these DCs for years on and off. A report that says green 3 punched blue 2 is useless. we need there has to be, not a ton, but there has to be a little bit of color in there.
Well, the report was fine, it gave all of the details, but then he sent a supplementary email copying everyone, saying that I'm, not recommending any further sanction at all, and it makes it tough.
It's up to the DC.
Well, guys, I just, what the law violation was, what you saw, a brief summary of the incident. I don't, you don't want to do too much, you don't say sucker punch, a punch. A sucker punch is no different than another punch, it's still a punch, it's a red card. So, just be brief, don't write a soliloquy. Greg?
Just a heads up, if a Rugby Colorado team gives you their roster that they printed off their registration website, it doesn't have SIP numbers, and it doesn't have jersey numbers on it.
Hand it back to them and they can do it right. Sorry, I didn't.
We don't need SIP numbers anymore. We just need to know who the kid's name is.
The kid's name.
They take your registration to the local level, there's not a number associated.
Right, I had a roster with names and no numbers, so I yellow carded number 8, and I reported that to Rugby Colorado, but not to ERRFU.
Craig, let me ask you, they have a match report that they produced from Rugby Colorado, right? Because a standard form?
No, it was just a roster off their registration.
But
I'm just saying,
But don't they have one? I'm asking the question, don't they have one?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll double check, because they should only.
Doesn't who have one?
Every team, a standard form,
Yeah, they've got a standard roster form that you print out, but it doesn't list the numbers.
but you don't even need that as much. They can write the number next to it, but
Right.
we should require the standard form printed off their website, because that way we know they're registered. Because they can only be printed on that sheet if they're registered. That checks that.
I think that's a great idea, but they ought to also write the
They
number
need
next
to,
to it.
Yeah.
my point was, heads up, you get one of those rosters, give it back to him, make sure he numbers it.
But I went to a game last night, and it was just an Excel spreadsheet, somebody printed out 21 names. And it's like, we should require the Rugby Colorado match report with numbers then written next to whatever position that kid's playing.
Okay, so when you confirm your next Rugby Colorado match,
Back.
Jersey number.
We don't care about SIP.
when you get called or emailed or whatever, your reply to him is, yes, coach, I'll be there at 1. I need goalpost pads, sideline ropes, and your official Rugby Colorado match report roster.
Which you can print off.
Which-
But that was the visiting team,
The 20, with the starting, huh?
with the visiting team doesn't have to.
And you need to make sure that the visiting coach has that as well, it's compliant.
Right.
That's easy.
I'll send a note to the coaches too and let them know that, and remind them
And
that.
please, you guys do eight
Corniga.
But Rugby Colorado does infinite stuff, don't they?
No,
I'm strict.
It's 8,
it's 7.
7.
7 subs for Rugby Colorado.
Player had nothing to
No,
do,
he
it was his coach.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Coach's
It's
office.
8 if you have this right number front row eligible.
Okay, well, maybe that.
Per IRB law, subs per IRB law.
Okay.
Great, so I know last year they were doing bowling sub or something.
Yeah, last year they did, whoever.
Most coaches will make some agreement decide thing, and that's, I don't think you have to worry about it.
If they do, then yeah, we do.
So we're good as reference, is there, how we do the subs in this, the league game stuff?
Talk to the coaches.
And if everyone's good with it?
If they're good with it, then we're good.
Don't, the rule is in place, there's only 8 subs. If they
Yeah,
both
eight
want to come
max.
to you, if they both want to come to you with the issue, don't bring it up as, hey, we're doing open subs. The law's the law. If they want to come to you with something
But
different,
for a league match, we don't want them to have more than 8. So even if they come to you for a league match and say we're gonna play 87, then it shouldn't be a league match.
They change the rules every year, don't they?
They do.
It's called
And those aren't laws, those are rules.
Those are rules.
Well, they're our customer and that's all right, so we cater to them.
So is, I need eggs, huh?
Yeah, so, great. So I guess, Joe, we did level 1 and Rick, we recruited some, we had, what, 7, 8?
7 people, of those 7, yeah, 4 of them are good prospects. The other 3 should just chunk along and fill spaces. We'll see what they can do. But 4 good prospects.
No, yeah, any new person is a good prospect, so that's good. Just keep recruiting, guys, just because we just did a level 1 doesn't mean we're done. Let's get another 14 in for the next one. Again, we can get 10 people, we can do it, another one this weekend, Let's just recruit. Gary, I guess you went to Gary and Kurt went to the AGM as referee representatives. You want to expand on that a little bit?
I think we were very well accepted at the AGM. There was lots of good questions, and they were very positive about the information we had to share with them. We shared with them that booklet with some information in it, shared with them as a draft document, not as a final document, but for those of you who have not seen it, I have a copy here on my computer, and I can email it around if you'd like to see it, but it's just trying to put us in a positive light and say that we're not just there for 80 minutes in the field, we are a greater set of services that we can offer to the community at large. So the good questions they had were around a couple different items, and so they wanted to see our budget because they said it's one of the requests of their membership, so we shared that with them. They also asked about an assignment of referees to specific leagues. So for the question was about, I think it's a D2 league, the collegiate league, D3?
It's a D3 league.
The
Mark and I talked about this.
Nestro League.
Can they pay more money and get a higher level referee? And we told them, we simply don't have the capabilities to do that at this time.
Well, I think we said it's a good discussion item. Let's have him, Alan.
Yeah.
Alan's going to come and discuss it with the administration. So Alan's going to talk to the exec board about it, and then it can be worked out. So there wasn't a decision made. It's just, Alan, you have a good idea here. Talk to the exec board, see if you can work it out. If not, great.
We're trying to get all of our referees on the same level as our top guys, so.
Kurt explained that very well about, and so did Gary, about top level referees. Most of them are out of town most of the weekends.
Well, it's just because we tend to have.
I think
We covered
they bring up
that.
a valid point, though, that we are moving into a time where that league is much more structured than other collegiate leagues. They have their stuff together. If they pay $500 a game, would we give them the referee request? And it's a valid question that we
For
should
$500
consider.
a game, I'll fly back.
No, but legitimately, if they have the wherewithal and the ability and the will.
I'll take bronze as well.
But they're gonna ask a certain beat test score and a certain XYZ, so we have to then, it's a negotiation, but I think it's worthy of consideration of the executive committee to talk to this guy and say, it was he and Amy that Amy allowed him to bring the issue forward. So I think that's a good consideration for us. As well, there was some question about just, general things about our operations, nothing crazy. I think the tournament, Gary clarified that the tournament fee cost per day per referee, instead of just being sort of whatever we wanted to negotiate with each individual tournament, be more of a standardized thing, and they like that. So I don't think anybody had anything negative to say about it.
No, it's pretty positive,
And
and a lot more positive than meetings I've been to in the past.
So the tournament fee is $7,500 per.
Whatever it said, that's what we told them.
Ryan had sent me over pricing for, I think it's $100 per referee per day that we charge the tournament.
But we also indicated that we determine how many referees need to be at their event, not them. Give us your number of teams, give us your structure and your proposed schedules, and we'll come back to you with what we perceive your needs to be. And then do you need some team of threes for stuff?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be any longer somebody calling the chairman going, we'll do that for $200. It's fixed.
What do you think? 300?
It was also asked, Mark, it was also asked, well, what if the tournament is providing other things like your hotels?
I think what we're gonna do is, if it's,
We told them, we didn't answer, I learned a little lesson from Kurt. We'll discuss it with you on a case-by-case basis based on what we see as our needs. If we're going up to Breck, as an example, doing something for the day and we're done at 3 o'clock, we're probably just coming home, unless people are going to plan on staying over. So we'll take it on a case-by-case basis.
other committees.
Hold on a sec, just curious, how was that meeting attended? Clubs, colleges?
I think, so the colleges sent a proxy, according to the proxy there, so the colleges weren't that well represented in number, but I think the clubs outside of 2, right?
Everybody except for 2 Utah teams and Glendale showed up on the club front.
So the clubs are pretty well represented,
Nice.
and I think the colleges at this point are gonna associate with the GU in that way. They're gonna send a collegiate commissioner instead of having everybody go, because they kind of have unified issues. So I think it was a good meeting, it went relatively smooth. I think, I don't know, that's my first one, so I hope.
Oh, it's
It went pretty
way
good.
more than my
Yeah.
first one, and it went
Pretty
really well.
quick. They're thinking about hiring a administrator for the GU, and so this is one of the things that Rich is working on right now, I think, is job description otherwise. So I don't know what the timeline on that is, but likely we'd end up having a staff member for that organization to be the point person for most everything, and we'd have to, or we would associate with that person as our
And
contact.
to keep the costs down, we may go in with Heart of America and have a joint person to do both of them. That would cut our cost considerably.
Well, it was also discussed about the playoff structure, that right now, for the next couple of years, and Eric, I think you're the one who kind of sort of covered that mostly, is it's gonna kind of flip-flop
Yeah.
back and forth.
So at the club level, it'll be in Rocky Mountain every other year. Playoffs. It'll be in Mid-America the other year.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
That's like us.
This year it's in Rocky Mountain, just FYI.
What's that, rivalry?
What used to be Westerns will be here.
It's
So,
10,000 rand, it's like $4.
Okay, so, no one here is on the 5-year planning committee, is there?
Love you, Craig.
Okay, we'll miss that. So Stu, do you recap on the website?
Still getting some stuff together on that.
Okay.
Still got people hounding me on the, off-the-shelf solutions, but I think, Texas got back with me. They're not doing anything special, so, I think we're gonna push forward with a simpler, basic website, and I'm still talking to a few guys I know to, put something together for Gary and Gilligan that'll be more simplified for signing. We'll be able to actually tell who's the AR, who's in the middle, and at least solve that debacle.
So there's been the confusion on a couple of games, is like CU playing CSU, and then there's B-side, and it's like Tim, John, and Rick. And then, so it's like, well, who's the ref? Well, probably Tim, who's national assignment, but then who does the B-side? So I think we, definitely the referee of, the referee of the day will know who should probably get the B-side ref, but if you don't know, please email, confirm with the A-side referee, and then if there's still confusion, someone needs to mediate it, call Dan or Gary, and have them send out.
Yeah, I mean, it should be an order of A-side, B-side, and the AR for the 2 games.
Yeah, correct, I got it.
But, I'm trying to check, we try to check the schedule to make sure that that's correct, and sometimes it's not coming up. So in theory, you should receive an email from Dan specifying who's doing what. But if there is confusion, please get me.
Like this weekend, there could have been confusion about John and Lon doing it, so John is the B-side ref, and Lon will AR twice, I think it's $50, Kurt.
Can you just put after each name, just Kurt
AR?
R, next person 1, next person 2?
The system doesn't support that right now.
What about colors?
No.
Keep them in order then, can you just keep them in order?
No, can't, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
So colors are out.
It's why we're creating a new website.
Gotcha.
It's all Stu's fault.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, Stu.
don't worry about it.
Alright,
Fire up the bus there, Gary.
It's all caps, yeah.
Tim is now gonna do an impromptu presentation on Advantage.
Oh, we're talking about coaching first?
Yes, sorry, coaching.
I'm going to go first. He says. Okay. Apologies for missing last week and on this. Last month. I will miss next month. I'm happy. It'll be on Thursdays. But soccer doesn't start till next month. You have my pleasure at my committee tonight. So, coaching. I know Mark, I tried to have Mark present briefly last month as to a kind of general overview. And I know a lot of people here, a lot of referees here are either a coach or are in the situation of having a coach. And the interaction that goes on between that relationship is very much up to you as a referee and as a referee coach. There's no prescribed formula. So, Rick, exactly.
Can I coach him real soon?
You sure can. So,
The court's already ready.
Rick calls me up in the week, we have a chat, little social interaction. Great. Mark, We had a good email conversation. He sent a development plan. We've done some more discussion on email, had a phone conference. Jim, who's my third referee, I get to hear from. So,
I sent you an email the other day, did you?
Not as straight as
but
trash.
we're going to chase that up tonight because we're here. So, but in the whole sense of, as a referee, what you put into that relationship will determine what you get out of it. So, I'm not going to sit here and say, Rick, I watched the first 5 minutes of your game at East when you ran around with a chest camera, and this is everything you did wrong, fix it, do it all right, do it this way. That's not how we learn, that's not how we grow, and there's not a prescribed black and white methodology to improvement. So all I can do and what I want to be is a sounding board for Rick. He can call me and go, hey, this can happen, and I was like, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? Am I right? Maybe. Maybe not. The input that I have, I want Rick to take away to think about and go, okay, well, he had this idea. Maybe I'll try this. I got a high school game on Wednesday night. Maybe I'll try, standing here rather than here and see if that fixes that issue with the scrum half. Or, that's the interaction that a coaching setup should have, or a mentor-referee relationship should have. So, if you, as a referee, are wanting to keep furthering your development, not only should you read your logbook and turn up your fitness test and improve your fitness, which is highly important, but think about what are you writing down? What are you putting down on paper? Are you sending your coach an email saying, hey, this year, I really think that I stand a good chance of, refereeing the high school final, or getting to a position of, being available to run touch and to referee in the Denver Sevens in the West bracket. That's where I want to get to. Okay, let's think about tangible items that you can do to get there. So Mark's plan, when he sent over to me, is written down, identified very clearly some areas that he felt were weak and how he was going to step to overcome those issues. And whether that was, I'm going to work on my fitness, I'm going to do my fitness test this month, again in 2 months, again in 2 months, and I want to see a steady improvement. I'm going to take, I'm traveling, I'm out of town, but I'm going to watch the video. So I'm still partaking in the meeting. Okay, I'm going to send a game plan, and Mark sent out a game plan for you to fill out before each game with a reflection to do after each game. If you take the time and you invest in those items, they will help you grow, they will help you improve, and you will improve faster. You don't have to do anything, and you will eventually steadily improve, just your own attrition, and then you're like me, and it takes 15 years to get to where you get to. Okay? If you want to grow faster, those items help. What I want to hear from you, let me turn it over to you now, is I've tried to assign some coaches to referees. If those relationships aren't working, come and catch me on the side. I don't want to say, hey, I hate Craig Todd, I never want to work with him again. I don't,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
By a show of hands, how many people are actually using that self-analysis thing I sent out? Chris, Rick, Jim, Eric-ish? Ish.
Okay, that's good. So, I guess, what are you guys looking for in the way of further help, further coaching, further development that you feel that we as a development committee, society, referee society can help? Anything? Everyone pretty happy?
It's pretty running. It'd be nice to have. I don't think I've had a game, aside from doing sevens with you guys last year, I don't think I've had anybody watch a game.
Okay. Point noted. And we are getting better. I'll say that right now, as
I'm
it
just saying it's.
looked at, I think Wednesday night, apologies, that's my fault. Wednesday night, we have 4 referees, we have 4 coaches in theory going down to. Oh, it's not my phone. Send it here. We have 4 referees on Wednesday night, we have 4 coaches going up to 4 referees. That's what we want to see. Because we're short-staffed, the 22nd and 29th, which are the 2 weeks that aren't out on the schedule yet, hopefully we'll get some more coaches, because it's spring break, the high schools are down a little bit, so we have a couple of the referees floating out. But really, Wednesday nights is when it's a time that we should not have a game go on without a coach being there. And I'm working with Dan right now to make sure that we have a coach at every game. So unfortunately, we only have 4 or 5 games on Wednesday night, but if we can rotate those games, in 2 weeks we can get 10 referees, each a coaching report. And that's what I like to see. When we get busy in the middle of April, the coaches are having a referee, the PRs are having a referee, Bob's having a referee, we're stretched thin. But
I think
Poor players if we have to referee.
if you do get a report back from coaches, you know, of the game and analysis of your game, I think it'd be good to share with the individual as well.
I get reports back on a lot of games, through the high school system mainly. Eastern Rockies don't send me anything. I think that used to get copied to Charlie. He'd send something on to me if it was egregiously bad, but I got no reports. The high school coaches are pretty good at giving feedback. If things come out in a game where I find a tangible direction, is like, oh, that's interesting, and it comes from both sides, when I get both reports, then I will generally email the referee and say, hey, you know, give me a viewpoint on that game, what do you think? What generally happens is the team that lost says he missed everything and they came in the side and offside was terrible again, and the one that says he's the best referee I've seen all season. And it's like, you got, so very, very clearly that one guy's just peed off when he filled out the report, and the other guy, because you want thinks great. And then they grade you, they give you a grade between A and F. And, you know, Brian Zapp got a couple of Fs last year, you know, and
Who invented that system?
but the thing that I take with that is I actually email the coaches back. So it's like they gave Brad Zapp a coach because an F because they didn't agree with his tackle. So that for us, from a referee's perspective, was I had about a 12 email exchange back and forth with this guy about why he felt that Brian's tackle was wrong, and then myself explained, well, no, actually, if you think of the law and how it's written in law, it says this, so this is how we interpret it. And that's a positive thing. We're trying very hard. So I've already emailed about 7 or 8 high school coaches when the first reports came out saying, thank you for your feedback, you know, please keep it coming, anything you need, you know, if you want to discuss anything further, so that we have that interaction, so that we're seen as being human rather than just being, you know, the police.
You know, I get those same reports, and, you know, I try to look at trends, and, you know, you keep hearing that he's not calling the tackle, or he's not calling offside, then I try to get that feedback to him. But I actually have liked the grading. I didn't put it in there, the A through F, but what's been interesting is to see the trend. And if we go back 3 years ago, there were lots of D's and F's, and right now they're mainly A's and B's, and I think that's been a very, very positive thing. Somebody loses a match by 80 points, well, the referee's bound to get an F and an A, but you know, by and large, we're seeing almost all A's and B's from the high school.
So we have all new coaches now, you're saying?
Have all new coaches
All
now.
high school coaches.
Good. Anything else? Anything else that anyone thinks about that they? No? Coaching wise, any coaches, comments, mentors, PRs? No? All right.
If you are a coach, make sure you write your paper, because talking to the ref after the game is okay, it's good, it's necessary. But if you don't write your report and submit it to the staff, then we have no way of tracking that referee.
And you won't get paid.
Oh, you should be a B panel by now? Sorry, we don't know that.
I don't think we were told necessarily that we would get paid to coach or what to do with forms. So if you want us to coach, maybe just outline that quickly in an email.
Well, it's
Okay, easy
coaching
enough.
and mentoring is what we're, coaching is.
There's different things. So, yeah, the mentoring and the coaching things get very confused about who's who. So I'm the coach or the mentor, whatever you want to call me, to Jim, to Rick, and to Mark. And I've yet to see any of their games other than Rick's chest count, and I send him a nice email, and we have a nice discussion. I'm not getting paid for any of that. If we assign Joe to go and coach Chris this weekend in a Division II game, and Joe writes his paper, he'll get paid his $25. Even though Chris's coach might be Mark or somebody else.
Okay, so I was assigned to my mentee to watch a game.
What you do in the ASAC game?
No.
In which case, if you write paper, you will get $25.
Okay.
Tim, if you could send me a list and have, you know, however you want to break it down, coaches, managers.
I think it's on the,
It's on Google Docs.
And then I can send out a blank
But yes,
coaching report, which you can then copy and fill out for each.
if you're the referee though,
I'll send it to you. I have it electronically.
Kurt, if you're the referee on A game and it's a B side, it kind of,
No, sure, right.
you know.
And it's not about the money, it's about the reports, because
Yeah.
at some point we probably say to Rugby Colorado or to Rocky Mountain, say, referee development to us has meant 38 coaching reports, 46 evaluations, here they are in paper.
Yeah.
It's proof that rugby development is
And
well.
we are trying to keep those. Joe's got them, and he's uploading them to Dropbox. So we have all the reports online as a development group. Just to throw out though, as referees, it's not our responsibility to keep your reports. So I still have every single one of my evaluations, either on my hard drive somewhere or printed out on a piece of paper in a filing cabinet. Okay, so that I can go back and look in 1999, when I refereed my first game in Colorado, how well did I do? So please keep hold of your reports when you receive them. Yeah, it was, I think so. Okay, anything else in coaching?
Has anybody else written paper this year? Coaching report? Okay. You have, Bob?
Yeah.
And do you have that, Tim?
You will get it tomorrow.
Ah,
Perfect.
I didn't know who to
I'm
send
trying
it
to
to.
think, I think I got it.
someone did two, I thought.
Gilligan.
what I'm trying to find
Gilligan's
out
done a
is,
couple. Gilligan's done two.
I'd like, you know, if I'm gonna be managing this Dropbox,
Yeah.
I need them.
I know.
Okay, so if you write a level 1 coaching report, please copy Joe Zevin on that to the referee.
Yeah, I need a good laugh.
Yeah? Like it is?
Okay.
Okay, Eric. Borrow your non-rickety computer.
So I'm trying to download it so you don't run into any internet.
Chris, if you want to take this.
They have a lot of bad stuff.
You got it, to advantage.
You go to
Another one,
Yes. Send an email on that?
So we have our full allotment up there. Touch flags Ryan actually has, yellow cards Ryan actually has. And they don't have socks up there either yet. I'm trying to get up there. So they have jerseys, green and yellow, shorts, tracksuit, and a kit bag, and a very cool shoe bag, which is awesome. So what happens is when we have 25 orders of jerseys that are already done up, and they're the same jerseys as our Aspen Lumberjack jersey, so they're not the same as what we got now. And when those are gone, we're going to switch to BLK. We have 5 large tracksuits and 5 extra large tracksuits. When those are gone, we're going to redesign the tracksuits BLK, because USA Rugby is going forward with BLK. So we're going to match that, so that we can at least have the same kit as Beyond Limits known. So, buy some stuff, spread it out, let's get an exchange. Use that $50, why wouldn't you guys use that $50?
Yeah. Lumberjack jerseys and stuff.
$29.99.
Those things were great.
Per season.
This is the best jerseys we've ever had.
It's a hard sell.
Except the bowling shirts in Kansas City.
Those were great.
My buddy will know. Listen to this.
Boys. You guys sent me an email,
I like the yellow one, I like
video
it.
from
It's got my
Vegas.
jersey.
Flat.
It's got the wear on it. The only thing I really see is the. Okay.
All right, everyone got their pens, pencils, ready, utensils? This is a tackle training video by the Eastern Zone Manager, Mr. Mike Kopp, Eric's computer does work, it wasn't used for the filming of war games with Matthew Broderick. Gary?
Sorry. Do we have any films from the Western Zone Manager?
There's an issue.
There's lots of films.
Yeah, I see that.
Hence the
He's
comment
also-
about the fact that his computer doesn't work.
So Mike's
Worst case
also the
scenario,
technical
it's
director
downloading
for
the
USA Rugby, who does these himself. So if you go to, search YouTube, there's a bunch of stuff out there.
Hey, Eric.
Can you slide to the side?
Yeah.
Mark, what YouTube, where would you find it on YouTube?
Just search YouTube. Search for
Vimeo.
Oh, no, these are on USA Rugby.
Yeah.
It's vimeo.com/mcob USA Rugby.
Yeah. So if you search for, if you log into Vimeo and you search for Ed Todd and Richard Emery and Mike Cobb and even Mark Nelson, we all have videos listed. ERRFU, so I try and load every game I get from an ERRFU referee onto our ERRFU TV Yahoo page, or YouTube page. So I just loaded my Glendale game up there, I loaded my game from last week up there, I loaded Stu's game. So if you get a disc from a coach or something, Dropbox it to me, and I can load it up on YouTube, and then we can all review it. So, and then me as a zone manager, I took videos of our Atlanta's women's camp presentations and put them up all on YouTube as well. So if you just search for 2014 ATLWDC, Atlanta Women's Development Camp, it'll pop up all the presentations. So I think I sent that to you, Steve. Yeah. It's just a lot of good stuff.
Hello and welcome to the fall 2013 tackle training video. The purpose of this training video is to give you a better understanding of what everyone needs to see at tackles. You need to be able to see infringements when they happen live, so ideally you should write down your answers after viewing the video clip once. You'll have 6 options as answers for each clip. BCNR, the ball carrier didn't release the ball. TNR, the tackler didn't release or roll away. TANR, the tackler assist didn't release the ball or the ball carrier. ZE, the player didn't come through the gate or there was a zone entry problem. LF, the player left his feet or sealing the ball. Or PO, there was no issue or the infringement wasn't material, so play on. There is an answer sheet for this training, and if you'd like to email me at mcobb@usarugby.com, I can send you that sheet. So watch each clip, then enter your answer for what you saw, and then give a description for what you saw. Here's an example description. Black number 13 didn't release the ball carrier, which slowed down the recycle of White's ball. This was material because White number 9 was there at the breakdown, ready to play the ball, but couldn't because of the actions of Black number 13. Here's an example clip of what you will be watching and what you should answer for the clip.
Yankees. Well, just a charge forward there was stopped very quickly by Lama Mafu.
Here's the example clip again with what you should have seen and answered. As the ball is passed out by red, you'll want to pay attention to blue number 16. The yellow arrow was pointed at him. He comes onto the ball carrier and ends up being the tackler assist. Once the tackler goes to ground, you can see that the blue number 16 never releases him. The yellow arrow is pointed at blue 16. And blue 16 wins the ball because he never released the ball or the ball carrier. Here's an example of what your answer could have looked like for the example clip. The answer should have been TANR, for tackler assist not releasing. The description of what you saw would have been blue number 16, who is the tackler assist, didn't release the ball or the ball carrier, and ends up winning the ball for his team. As you watch the clips, don't be influenced by what the referee does or doesn't do in each clip. We may or may not agree with what the referee did or didn't do in that clip. So watch the clip and write down what you saw. On most of the clips to start with, there will be a freeze frame picture with a yellow arrow pointed at where the ball is so that you know where to start looking as the clip starts. Here's clip number 1. Pause the video and write down your answer. Here's clip number 2.
Let me know when you're all ready.
Guess we don't get to see it twice then.
Guess we don't get to see it twice.
Oh, so you gonna see it twice in a game?
I do in Glendale.
Guys, It's not like you're gonna lose your whistle, it's not referee this week, you get this wrong, it's an exercise.
Oh, thank God.
Everybody ready?
Yes, you should.
Very good? Is anyone not good?
Here's clip number 3.
Good.
Craig's not done yet. Very good? Anyone not good?
Here's clip number 4. Chris, they played a single game, which worked out that's better. And they go again to Sheamus, who's the go-to guy, making yards for them and giving Cal a good go forward momentum here.
He tries to pick him everybody, which I appreciate, but he's also really sucks.
I don't know why they're all lying to do this. Everybody good? Not Craig or not? What's that? These ERRFU is represented well. Is that me?
He's picking all western zone refs for his eastern zone.
Well, that's the only.
We only get
That's the only film available is Western Zone.
His boys are perfect.
Yeah, eastern zone refs don't make mistakes. Like Gavin.
Great foot right.
Here's clip number 5.
Back to Clever, you see him puts off. Tries the open side, spin around. Watch Clever.
How many do we have, Mark?
9 minutes left.
Here's clip number 6.
Over.
What I'll do is I'll get the email, I'll get the answers out, and I'll email them out tomorrow from Mike Dog. And if you just want to take these home or keep them.
Oh,
You don't have the
I have the answers right now.
Exactly. Right out of two. I like it. Confident.
Your answers?
Except for number 4, that was crap.
That was a CNS.
On, we
cannot see.
can't go through them tonight.
That's the name you're missing.
I don't think I have. What's that? I don't think I answered.
You don't have the answers.
No.
But we can go through each video and then discuss them.
Sure, if you want to.
We don't have that kind of time.
We won't have time.
Well, let's go through 10 and then we go back to
So we came and talked to you guys.
Here's
Craig, I'll
clip
stay as
number
long as
7.
you want.
Yeah, they
Is
changed,
WTF
they
an
changed
option?
the camera angle right at the crucial moment.
Or get it, talk to Bob.
It's a great idea.
No, it wasn't a zone entry because that was a tackler. They changed it cameras, right?
That was an
Huh?
What was that option?
That's an option, yeah.
Oh, that was an option?
Yeah.
See you.
Well, I got late in my.
Tim, you need some more sleep.
Tim doesn't know what sleep is. It's an hour a month.
Sleep's overrated.
So February was a good month.
Here's clip number 8.
I'd say that was played on except for listen.
Here's clip number.
Sorry. Ready? Not good? One more time?
Number 9.
Hi, Timmy.
That's nice.
My boots.
Yeah, but how are your minds?
Oh, I got that one right.
What, play on?
Question Tim, I wasn't watching.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing.
Damn it!
Sweet.
Rewind.
I was looking what position he was
Tim was right.
EWR.
Tim was wearing his yellow USA jersey. I was the guy that got caught watching it too.
2010 USA jersey.
Yeah, I'm wearing it again this weekend.
The sausage shirt?
Yep.
Oh, he looks good. Everyone good?
Good. I got Jack this weekend.
Here's clip number 10.
Hey, it's me again. I remember that guy.
That was pretty obvious.
Wait, I got to the. No, the.
Analyze that? Very good?
Here's clip number 11.
Are there?
There's like 18 or 20.
Let me know when you're ready. I'm just trying to get the answers while we're doing this. Everybody good?
Here's clip number 12.
Release the ball! That's fine! No hands!
Yeah.
Right there, I got him in.
And the arrows confuse you. Why did they?
Are we going to left or right, or are we going left?
Yeah, so it's hard. Looks like there's sides or something. Some of the clips.
What we got?
We're attacking up and down or left or right? Which will do it.
Here's clip number 13.
Which would
Why
actually
we call shorts?
Is that a multiple choice?
Is that all of it once except?
The bonus points on identifying the teams.
Oh, Chicago and Life, right?
Sacramento and Golden Gate.
Strike two, Mike.
Was that Pete? Was Mr. White Shorts Pete Smith?
No. That was not Pete.
How many people own white shorts? Burn them.
I use them for mowing the lawn.
Nothing else goes with the old
Training
clown
only.
suits.
Training only. Everybody ready?
You still wear your clothes.
Not about 20 years.
Here's clip number 14.
See, it just has the beard.
It's gonna give me 20 days.
I'm trying to think of, this is something we did, PRs did last summer.
Very good?
Here's clip number 15.
Chris Wormley's off to the races again, but just tripped up by the shoelaces there. And it looks like that was picked up by Ryan.
Here's clip number. Number 16.
TJ Allred. Up to Cody Thompson. A little run by Cody. And a penalty.
Four to go.
Here's clip number 17.
On there's the big man Polisic out. We've got a nice overlap outside.
So Chris Wormley decided to cut that one back in?
You can't see anything, there's a ref in the way. There's a ref in the way.
Here's clip number 18.
You're blocking. Send up a blocker.
Here's clip number 19.
Sorry. Sorry, it hadn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet.
You can see 18.
Here's clip number 19.
Everybody ready?
Look away! High one!
You see that one? Good? Last one.
Here's clip 20.
Little bit of room out there. Fletcher with the ball now. Cal trying to establish some phases.
Yikes.
Twenty's good.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's fine.
only be able to see 7
Yeah, there's the penalty right there, Yoshi.
Quite a pose.
Beauty sample by Lama Mapui.
Here's the example clip again. Goes to ground. You can see it could have looked like for the example blue number 16 for his team. Or didn't do in that clip looking as the clip. Or didn't do in that clip or pointing at where the ball is so that you know where to start looking as the clip starts. Here's clip number 1.
Tackle assist, not through the gate. Zone entry. Who got that?
Me, what number was it?
That was number 1.
Zone entry, this guy,
Like the yellow guy fell over the ball and sealed first before he went for it.
That's right. I think the tackle gone past, so essentially.
Looking as the clip starts. Here's clip number 1.
It's even a tackle. Through the zone. Tackle system.
entire body didn't come through the gate.
Pause the video and write down your answer. Here's clip number 2.
I should know this one. Tackler not rolling?
Here's clip number 3.
Tackler not rolling? 14 green?
Here's clip number 4.
Chris, they played a single game, which one Kyle does better. And they go again to Sheamus, who's the go-to guy, making yards for them and keeping Kyle good go forward, momentum here.
Hang on.
Did they play on? Yeah. Is that okay?
Here's clip number 5.
Back to cover, you see him confident.
Ball carrier not releasing?
Drives the other side, spin around.
Here's clip number 6.
Ceiling?
Nice.
This guy right here, is he in a good position?
Good position to protect the ball.
Here's clip number 7.
They're believing his feet.
I had zone entry.
Here's clip number 8.
What was right? Do you have answers, Mark?
We don't know. We're debating it.
Here's clip number 7.
You might have come in from the side as well, but the tackle or.
Yeah,
Tackler release.
No, it's play on.
Could have been the tackler not releasing, at least by his hand by his jersey, but.
Here's clip number 8.
I see
Clip
that
number 7.
the tackler
Clip number 7.
from a grounded position, he's on the ground.
Tackle player not releasing. He puts the ball out, sees the guy shove the poach, pulls it back in. Guy gets rucked out, then puts the ball back out again. It's tough to catch, but he's a cheeky South African.
Well, and also the tackler,
Here's fine.
one of them was on his
Here's
feet,
clip
wasn't
number
on a
9.
standing position. You have to be on your feet to tackle.
At least you're supposed to be.
Yeah, he was on his knees.
Using his feet, holding.
time for assist.
Coming over.
Diving over.
Should we say that's not what? Yeah.
What?
Tim was the ref.
I'm gonna call it.
Oh, not there.
Here's clip number 10.
He didn't release him.
Here's clip number 11.
Offsides.
Left his feet or rolled the wrong way.
What's it called?
Left his feet.
Yeah, but he was offsides.
Well, anyway,
I only had six
this
choices.
is the tackle training, not an
Shoot
offside
penalty.
training. But yes, he plays for Glendale, so he's probably offside. He's disrupted it enough to.
That's Glendale, we never that side. Basket.
Here's clip number 12.
Release the ball! That's fine! No hands!
Right on.
That's what our referee says.
Here's clip number 13.
This big tackler not rolling away. Assist not releasing. TA and R. Where was it then? It's in San Francisco then.
Tackle assist.
Here's clip number 14.
See, this has the beard.
Yep,
Tackle player not releasing?
See,
And he left his feet.
I have green arriving off his feet.
What do you say, Mark? Tackle low, not releasing?
Tackled player, the tackled player, not releasing the ball?
TNR,
No, that's tackler not
BC.
releasing.
Well, was he assist to the tackle?
BC,
Let's go back and watch it again.
Ball carrier, the ball carrier?
BCNR.
BCNR?
Yeah.
See, this has the beard.
I think it was coming out of it more than not releasing, because the tackler is allowed to
See,
move him off, he goes to the ground.
That might be green ceiling actually.
I think it's
That's what I
green
have,
ceiling.
green ceiling, but the tackle assist never let go either.
See, that's the first infringement.
Yeah, play on.
has the beard.
Yeah, but it's
He
not.
looked like he's trying to
By
drive
the time tackle assist released, that's when
The green comes
the
up.
green came over and sealed. I think that the ceiling was the,
I think it's ceiling too.
Ceiling.
That's a really tight call to ding that tackler assist to not release. That's really tight.
That's right, yeah.
You
But
guys
he did release.
the material.
Yeah,
offense was green.
He did release.
Yeah, in which case I'd play on.
It's not tough.
Green cheated twice, Lightning cheated once.
The tackle had no effect. The tackle assist, he released, got through it, didn't get it.
Here's clip number 15.
Chris Burnley's off the race and was just tripped up by the shoelaces there. And it looks like that was picked up by Ryan.
One blue, not rolling away.
Missed it.
Here's clip number 16.
TJR red. That was Cody Thompson.
White.
A little run by Cody. And a penalty.
Is that what you're diving over or white not rolling?
As a tackler assist.
Yeah, I had white tackle, well, the first one was white tackle assist, not releasing.
That's what I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also coming over the top, using
Then
his
you had blue?
Yeah, no, white.
White.
That one again?
He didn't, 16. Tackle assist didn't release, and the ball carrier held on.
Here's
to the
clip
tackle
number
assist
15.
and got pulled over.
And it looks like that was picked up by Ryan.
No, I know.
Here's clip number 16.
TJR red. That was Cody Thompson.
No release, and comes over.
The tackle assist leaves his feet. I was worried about the tackler.
Here's clip number 17.
On there's big man Polisico. Got a nice overlap outside. So Chris Wormley decided to cut that one back in.
Side joint blue. Yeah, side
Here's clip number 18.
Going away, 5-1! Going away!
Yeah, these guys, okay?
Back to your seat. Back to book.
That's Michael Kennedy, isn't it?
Was.
Was.
Here's clip number 19.
Go. Look away!
Side entry.
Boom!
Penalized
Little bit of blue out there. Fletcher with the ball now. Now trying to establish some phases.
One.
Gain entry and that's it.
What's the passage going?
So if you go to USARugby.org, under referee, and then resources, they're all right here. I mean, it's a great tool, why not use it?
The best part is, imagine four souls just sitting on the ground. That's the best part. Imagine four souls. Sharp edges.
Barbed wire, going down the side of the tackle, where are you?
Yeah, good way to do it. It's not even-
I was wondering if I just found that one, because I tagged them all.
He's looking for names? Not like some really like.
Alright, anything else?
No. Anyone have any questions, games, anything come up? You guys have coaches now, you could,
I have a line-out question.
reset it.
What's that?
Reset it.
You set the line out.
I didn't answer that.
Go ahead with the question, please, Greg.
So, attacking team puts 4 in the lineout with no receiver. Defending team puts 4 in the lineout with a receiver. If the defending team puts the receiver into the lineout to jump, can they do that if they release one?
They cannot do that.
They cannot do
Good question.
So if you search for like just M. Nelson and USA Rugby, here's all the presentations we did at Atlanta. So,
Greg, ask that question again.
another tool?
So they match numbers in the lineout, but attacking team doesn't have the +1, doesn't have the receiver. Defending team can have the receiver, but they can't enter the line. They can't enter the lineout even if they drop one. That was my question.
Yeah, but shouldn't you load it before not having a receiver?
No.
But
There's no requirement to have a receiver.
But then if the team's in the lineup doesn't have a receiver, then they have 4 or 5 participants.
Yeah, so matching numbers is line-out players, not line-out participants.
Okay.
So the only matching numbers is down
Along the line of touch.
If one is 4, the other one has to 4. If one team chooses not to have a receiver, that does not mean the other team has to drop the receiver.
Okay, but now they're prevented from their receiver participating in the lineup?
That's what he just
You
said.
can't join the lineup. Now, your lineup players can change position before the lineup starts. Okay? But once that lineup's in progress, the receiver can insert if you're the attacking team, and the defending team may match in that scenario. Okay? So once the lineup's thrown, the receiver inserts, our teams will have a guy come in and the guy drops off the field, from half position, take the ball. But at that point, if you are the defense, you can't insert the receiver because you're not matching up. That's where that's my
So
understanding.
that's why I said even if they drop,
If they switch before the lineup starts.
before it starts. Because, I mean, the only advantage of doing that is defending, is you have a receiver watching their lineout and then entering the line to defend. But
It's very unlikely that would ever happen, since someone's going to a player, the receiver sometimes. That's fine.
No.
Unless he jumps.
Once the ball's in the
receiver
air.
has a better vantage point of where it's gonna happen.
So how does he compete with
You're not,
How does he compete with
He's gonna be lifted as well.
We're always out here too.
He's gonna enter.
We're always around here to take care of yourself. You've reduced the number of cause first.
Wherever he enters the line, they turn it.
We need to vacate, so let's, sounds like we can continue discussion.
It's not-